This is the Heybike EC1 e-bike. Let's see if it's the right bike for you. Okay, so before we get into it properly, I have to do a quick little disclaimer here. This video is not sponsored, although Heybike obviously did need to send me this bike for the purposes of this review. That said, I'm going to be as objective as I possibly can and simply just go through the features of this bike so that you can make up your own mind and decide for yourself whether it's the right bike for you or not. And with that out of the way, let's get into the first impressions. So here is the bike itself. As you can see, it's quite nice looking. Doesn't actually look like an e-bike, and as usual, the only thing that does give it away is the motor here on the rear hub. The frame is made from aluminium alloy and it comes in three colours: black, white and this very nice metallic blue. The whole thing only weighs 19 kilos, which firmly kind of puts it at the lighter end of the e-bike scale, and this is going to be particularly useful if you need to move it by hand anywhere. So if you live upstairs or in a flat or something, it's very easy to take up and down stairs, or if you want to put it in a car and take it somewhere for a remote ride. Heybike say that this is aimed as a commuter bike, as a leisure bike, but I suppose the frame is sturdy enough and the wheels are sort of wide enough that if you wanted to, you could probably even take it on some very easy, well manicured gravel trails. It comes complete with a removable 360 watt-hour battery, which means you can not only take the battery out and recharge it off the bike. It takes around 5 hours from flat, but it also means that when that battery inevitably reaches the end of its life cycle, you don't have to throw the bike away. You can simply buy a new battery and replace it. The motor is rated at 250 watts, which means it's completely road legal here in Europe. It doesn't have a throttle, and also when you're riding along and the speed exceeds 15 miles an hour or 25 kilometers an hour, that assist will cut out. But obviously you can ride faster, but you just have to use your own leg power. It has 7 gears, and those gears are from Shimano. So obviously that's a very good, well-known brand, but it's not one of their more well-known models. It's just a basic entry-level model. Like all e-bikes, it does come with a screen. It's a very basic black and white screen, but it does show you all of the relevant information. So things like your current speed, battery power level, and the assist level. It does have a couple of little extra interesting features. So the first one is the front light. It's only a small light, but it is powered by the bike's internal battery. The handlebar grips are kind of like the old style leather ones, so a little bit retro, so I quite like that. And if that's the sort of thing that you're into, there is an app that you can download as well. Now, I've not downloaded it myself, but my guess is that it's just going to track you when you ride and give you a little extra details about things like battery level, assist level, and things like that. So that's a very basic list of the bike's features. Now let's take it out for a spin and see what it can do. Now, seeing as this bike is being marketed as a commuter and a leisure style bicycle, I thought I would try it out in a typical commuting and leisure style scenario. So this bike has 3 levels of assist. It has eco mode, level 2, and of course level 3. I'm currently just using the eco mode, going up a slight climb here, and the motor's certainly doing a good job. I can feel it, but it's also nice and quiet and nice and smooth. Heybike are claiming that the EC1 will give you up to 100 kilometers or 60 miles range, but obviously that's going to be under ideal conditions. So flat road, eco mode, super light rider, and obviously I can't be described as a super light rider, so in my experience during the time that I've been testing this bike, I've been getting about 40 kilometers or 25 miles range out of it, which isn't bad, particularly if you're going to use it as a commuter bike. As for overall ride quality, I'd say it's pretty comfortable. And the motor cuts in quickly and smoothly, which is really useful when you're pulling away from junctions. So far I've just been riding around using Eco Level 1, and we've been cruising at about 18-19 kilometers an hour, so that's 12 miles an hour or so. So let's see what happens when I move up to level 2. So on power assist 2 here, just negotiate this junction. And I can feel that's a lot more powerful. So yeah, I'm already cruising along at 23 kilometers an hour, so that's pretty good. Okay, so far we've been riding around on flat roads with little inclines on them on level 1, level 2, but let's see how this bike handles a proper climb. I'm just about to go up this one here. It's one I go up normally on my regular road bike. I know it's not particularly long, but it's a little bit short and sharp. So I'm currently on level 2 on the bike, and we're just going up here at 21 kilometers an hour, maybe 13 miles an hour. So yep, feeling pretty good here. This is where it starts to get particularly steep, so what I'm going to do is kick into level 3. Certainly feel that. Go down a gear as well, just to maintain my cadence. And I know this bit is about 6%, but it's handling this climb pretty well, even with my weight on the bike. So equally as important as riding along is stopping. So let's test out these hydraulic disc brakes. Just applying them now, just going down a descent, and I'm just coming to a nice controlled stop there. Now that I've ridden the bike for a couple of weeks, what are the pros and cons? Well, in my opinion, the pros are that it's a pretty reasonable bike. It's going to do more or less everything that you would expect from a reasonably priced leisure or commuter bike. The motor's fairly powerful, it's nice and smooth, it's nice and quiet, and it's a very comfortable ride. Like I say, it's fairly reasonably priced. If you were to go on to the Heybike website today and buy one brand new, it would cost you £1,299. As for the cons, well, yeah, I couldn't really think of anything, but if I had to pick something, I would say that the charge time is a little long at 5 hours from completely flat. And if I were to be really niggly, I would say that the battery level meter on the screen is a little erratic. It would fluctuate between looking like it was full or a third empty or half full, but it would eventually just kind of settle down and give you a more accurate reading. So the burning question is, who is this bike for? And I think I have to agree with Heybike. It makes a pretty good commuter bike and a leisure bike as well. And although I haven't tested it, I think you could probably use it to do things like very easy, very basic kind of gravel trails. I'm also going to be a little bit controversial here and say that if you want to do some fitness cycling, you could probably do that on this bike as well. Now, I know it does have a motor, so obviously it's not going to give you quite the workout that you would get on a regular bike, say, but if you're particularly unfit or you lack a bit of confidence to get out on a regular bike, then anything that's going to make that easier and get you up off the sofa and onto the bike can only be a good thing. If you'd like some more information about this Heybike EC1 e-bike, I'll include a link to their website in the description below. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.